Okay, now here's one right up your alley, Paul, because I know you like to smoke. I want to go to another story about crops today. New South Wales police raided a property near Murga. 16 tonnes of illegal tobacco was seized, $28 million worth. No arrests have been made, but we're seeing a rise in these criminal syndicates because, because the price of cigarettes and tobacco is so expensive. Who's going to win this war here, Paul?
Well, it'll be fascinating to see. I think more so the front on this is vaping. Now, the horse is bolted, well and truly bolted when it comes to young people, and that's the way that they choose to smoke. The argument being that vaping in this country, you shouldn't have tobacco inside it, but we all know people find ways to do it. Surprise, surprise, illegal tobacco becomes an option for people when the taxes on legal tobacco have hit a rate where it's the best part of what, $11 billion that they expect to make every single year. At one point, they were hoping to make $14 billion. But my argument here is not about getting rid of all tobacco taxes. I understand why they're there. They've got to start to make a decision about vaping, because I love that they can come out every 5 minutes and tell us, oh, it's terrible, shake their heads. Well, ban it. You don't have a tax on lead paint, you ban it. They got a chance to do it on vapes, but you betcha they won't do it. Why? Because most likely half of the people in and around the political world don't mind a cheeky vape.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who like the nicotine delivery. Jenna, this is being driven, this sort of market for illegal tobacco and illegal vapes too, because of taxes. But there's a 10-year sentence for growing illegal tobacco. Is that too much or not harsh enough? What's the deterrent we need?
Yeah, I don't know, Cory. In terms of, when I read this story on the front of the papers this morning, in the fact that we're going to see a tax shortfall, because of the fact that we're seeing vapes and, like you say, illegal tobacco, it's really interesting. 10 years seems like a lot, and I need to go back and check the legislation and the jurisdictions of which we live in terms of what you get for growing things like cannabis in this country. Because I think they should, if they're going to whack a tax on tobacco, whack a tax on wacky tobacco, and let's crank up that industry as well.
Yeah, I reckon we're going to get to legalise marijuana sooner rather than later. Legalise cannabis is in lots of upper houses. But maybe a punishment should be, no doubt, what Mr Bernardi did to you, Cory, when you had your first cigarette, which is whoever grew that farm, lock them in a cupboard and make them smoke it all, and they're not coming out till it's finished.
I blame my mother for that, and she'll be watching tonight as well. That's another story.
Love you, Mum.
Hey, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Two superstars of Sky News. Tune in to Paul Murray a little later tonight, 9 p.m. Paul, Jenna, thank you very much for joining me on Sharry. It's been a pleasure.